Welcome to a video coming to you from the tomb of EL-lumination. This is just an off-the-cuff video. I don't like to prepare too much for these videos because you spend too much time doing that. So I'll just go over things that are on my mind that people might be interested in. You know, sharing information that's not really out there. Esoteric stuff, really, which all comes back to the physics of the flat earth design. You see here, I've got some images. You see the southern hemisphere. Here's a planned view of the flat earth for you. There's a tropical gap in here. That's the centre northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere that moves around it, separated by this tropical gap. And even in star rotations, the celestial gap between the two rotations. Anybody can get out there and see that with their camera and star trail photography. But little do people know, you know, this is what it does. This system here is forever moving, because the mirrored image from this central northern hemisphere, because this is the central vortex from right in there, comes out to the line of Cancer, Tropic of Cancer, and then mirrored image out here, right? So as this turns, but as the whole image is turning this way, this whole image is turning this way. One revolution comes all the way back round here with one revolution of this. So every man is on a meridian line north to south. That's his visual perspective. If he's out here, say, man is always at the centre of his view. He's always 90 degrees to zenith of his personal arc of horizon. So we don't see the whole cycle, do we? No. We don't see a whole 24-hour cycle. We don't see half. So we see things come up and over our horizon. Because things come over our horizon, people think you can't have a flat earth because they're not intelligent enough to think deeper and understand what I tell people. I try to explain it, but it's too much indoctrination in the physical belief and everything, why people can't understand the metaphysical. There's a lot of metaphysical stuff involved with the creation of our earth. Like all of creation is right back in the centre here. If you slice it through there, look back through here as a cross section, this is what you get. So if you look back this way, you get the tropical gap here and the tropical gap this side. This is what we've got here. Tropical gap there, tropical gap here. They don't understand that creation's way back in the centre here. Locked, magnetically locked from Cancer into here, around like this. We cannot get into the dead centre, a place called of inaccessibility. Despite what they tell you and what the ignorant want to parrot, we cannot get in there. Planes cannot fly over here. They cannot fly over there. Okay? The planes are way down here. If you went by scale, the planes are way down here. There's no way you get up there. But the true sun, the pure plasma that's centrally locked in here, just like the pure plasma they're trying to create in the centre of the tokamak, it's magnetically locked in here, right? We dwell inside the magnetic field here. You know, people can't grasp this if you just straight off the bat, but if they follow my videos right through, they come to understand it. But it does take a few videos. So another way to see this is the two hemispheres here. So man only sees this, what's on this one meridian. He can't see what's going on around here. So depending on his latitude as to how much he'll see of each hemisphere. And so this, you can imagine this is the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. So the northern hemisphere, everything expands out from the north, gets bigger and bigger as you come out south. So each one of these is one magnetic cycle. See, he gets one image of a sun and a lemma. On a whole, which he does not see in a whole, he only sees it in his one hemisphere. So he gets this on a whole image reduced down to his arc of horizon. So he gets a full sun analemma in here. In the southern hemisphere it goes like this, because his sun comes out of here. In the north the sun comes out of here, so their sun analemma would go like this, but they're mirrored. If you're on one meridian line, it would be like this, and they're toe to toe on the banks of the Jordan, as they say in the Bible, washing the feet on the banks of the Jordan or whatever, because the sun is all the way around here, projected from the actual sun hidden in the Arctic. We see it in the light spectrum due to the electromagnetic field, and it does its cycle like this over the year. That shape being formed like that is due to the fact that this here is moving, not only this way but coming in like this. It winds in and then winds, no, it keeps going that way, but winds back out again. But that's only half the story, because once the field, the magnetic field that's wound right into here, winds back out and separates again, we get another image of a sun. There's another sun cycle. You could say right out here around the observer in Antarctica. It's a lot smaller than this though. I should have drawn a smaller one, because as well as getting your image of the sun coming around you if you're standing in Antarctica, someone in South Africa, New Zealand or Australia is still getting their cycle of sun, because at 66.6 degrees it splits off, becomes a trinity. That's a long story, we won't go into that, way too difficult. Anyway, another way of drawing this, the two hemispheres, is here, the big southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, and consider these as the star rotations of the night sky. They look even because everything is relative to the observer within his arc of horizon, but they're not. And this is how it works. It moves up like this, right up to there, which is the June solstice, then recedes back, and in a bang on certain spot, bingo, the Vesica Piscis, right there at a certain, not at a certain time of the year, but this happens every year, but at a certain time of the year, a certain occasion, very rare occasion, that ends up directly above the 3 pyramids of Cairo. Okay? And then when it keeps receding back off, that's the whole story of coming out of Egypt. Moses brought his men or followers out of Egypt, out of your lower self, out of your sacrum, whatever. That goes deep. The metaphysical, the physiological side of man. Nothing happens on earth that doesn't happen with man. Anyway, at that spot, you got the 3 stars of Orion's belt. Center star is Enlil, which represents the sun, the pyramid of the sun, and the sun. Okay, at the same time, you've got the 2 Milky Ways of each hemisphere lining up, because the sun is in the Milky Way. There's an alignment from geomagnetic north, geographical north, all the way through, and you're on this line, which representing one of your meridian lines, one of these lines from there straight out to you. And if this intersects this spot here and you're on it and you're balanced mentally and physically, heart, mind, bingo, bing, you illuminate your sun, your pineal gland. You become like Jesus, God-like, Hermes, Horus, any of those figures, Allah, Buddha, divine occasion. So this represents the centre star of the Orion's belt. And this you've heard before this. These people here, Graham Hancock, Billy Carlson, all talk. They mention the pyramids have something to do with the Orion's belt, but they have no clue. You only get it here. I'm the only guy that can explain it all. At a certain time of the year, they are above the 3 pyramids. They don't know when or how. I do. So that's that. There was going on about the size of the pyramid and how it fits into the circle, but you've got to realise it's not a circle. It's just man's arc of horizon. You know, they call it a pyramid because it's a pyramid, the fire in the middle. But they touch on the fact there could be a fire created in the middle, but they don't discuss it on a physics scale like the earthly system, the toroidal field, as the fire in the middle. The pure plasma sun, unseen sun, is in here. And the Milky Way comes out of here. It's there coming out of the centre over to the tropical gap. Fire in the middle. This is representing Earth. There's a lot of details and information in this pyramid. They know that much. Did you know you add up the latitude and longitude, you get 666, but you get 60. So you get 6066, 60 degrees 66. That's interesting, isn't it? But on my Patreon, I go into more of the 666, what that all means. So here's this information you don't get taught at school. No way. They don't tell you this is how the system works. That moving up like that and around this way like that creates the sun in a lemma. They don't tell you about this divine period here at the neck, the blue chakra, how it's connected to Venus, which is the blue planet. It was not really blue, is it? Why is it blue? Because it's connected to the blue chakra at a certain time of the year. Comes out of a mente, goes back into a mente. This southern field moving up and overlaying the centre northern hemisphere is what creates the constellations, the new constellations. Moving around in this position, moves around, but then moves up or moves back out, changing the constellations. Is it going around? Or, changing constellations, the overlay of stars. The Egyptians have described all this in the Book of the Dead, or what's the other name for it, with the tombs, all the hieroglyphs in the tombs. It's all described. Understanding how, once the field pops out, separates like this completely, you get the sun beyond the 66.6 degrees. The observer sees his own sun way out here around Antarctica. At the same time, on this side of 66.6 degrees, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Argentina, they're all getting their own sun. They can't see it move all the way around them though, but this guy can. Because the whole field is down and out in the lemma. The ecliptic plane is fixed right out. So the sun is all the way out and around until it comes back up. So if you're out in Antarctica on the 21st of December, you'll notice it. But as the dates change, it starts going like this. Well, the more it goes down here, the less you're going to see. It's going to duck below the horizon. So you only see the sun so far, till eventually it just disappears and moves back in when they overlay again. When that closes up, that sun out here will disappear. I'm the only guy that's described all the physics of the flat earth and get a lot of grief from guys in the past. Taken 7 or 8 years to get to this for people to finally acknowledge it. And the guys, people have only woken up since Jerry went to Antarctica, because people know the Earth is flat, and he was trying to put them crook. But most people aren't that dumb. They don't fall for his sort of bullshit, and they know it's flat, and they want to start looking. So they've opened their mind up a little bit more. Now they're understanding, grasping what I say about the personal arc of horizon, the separation, why we see the sun all the way around the Antarctic region. It's slowly getting into their minds, but it's a long, slow process, because people just, it's evolution. This is how we evolve. We don't change our appearance. It's all in the mind here, opening up the mind. You know, there's a lot going on in here, and we haven't even touched on it. All the great monuments around the world, all created through resonance, not by hand. It's mentioned in the Bible, in the Quran. No hands, but in esoteric form. People just aren't understanding it. You know, if you like this sort of thing, jump over to Patreon. You jump in, jump out, whatever. A lot of information there. You can support me this way. If you like this sort of information, don't forget to put a thumbs up and share it and subscribe. I'm shadow banned. There's nothing happening with my channel. It's only 9,000 subscribers, and that's taken 9 years just about, I think. Okay, thanks for watching.